This 1 Degree Outside video is sponsored by the Topsfield Fair, America's oldest fair. You can pre-order your admission, meal, and ride tickets today at topsfieldfair.org and join the fun October 4th through 14th, conveniently located on Route 1, just off of Interstate 95.
Good Friday morning, everybody. Meteorologist Danielle Noyes here for the 1 Degree Outside Weather Network, and we've made it to the end of the week, and it's a damp start out there for some of us. We've had these pockets of showers and rain rotating in off the ocean because of that ocean storm that's kind of meandering off to our south and will be the main weather feature here over the coming days. Pockets of rain today, then. We're going to talk about that and time it out in a second. Gusty wind at the coast. 30 to 40 miles per hour at times, some gusts to 45 miles per hour possible on the islands. Minor coastal flooding through Saturday as well, about 1 foot of inundation. Spots at the coast, the vulnerable areas, you know who you are. We're talking about the high tide cycle both today and tomorrow that will feature those areas. Overcast and damp for our Saturday with some pockets of rain around again and some slow improvement on Sunday. For that reason, Sunday is my pick of the weekend. It's not going to be perfect, but we will see some gradual improvement. Now, kiddos at the bus stop this morning, it's cooler, but it is a little more humid, particularly in eastern New England. I do think a raincoat is necessary for some of us in eastern Massachusetts especially. Pants are okay today too. It's been such a mild stretch and a warm stretch. The kiddos are getting extra use out of the summer clothes, but if they've been holding on to an outfit, that maybe you bought for back to school that they haven't been able to wear yet because it's more fallish, today's the day you can do that. There'll still be some showers around in eastern areas for the bus ride home and the walk home from school. And let's time those out. Notice the pockets of green are generally across southern New Hampshire, eastern Massachusetts, from central Mass points east. I do think they fade a bit between now and late morning, but then they pick back up as we head into lunchtime. So notice there will be pockets of light rain, maybe even some downpours that fill in here for the South Shore and Cape Cod by the time we get to lunchtime. So that's where I do think we get the weather gear and we have it with us during the day today. From Essex County, New Hampshire seacoast, southern Maine, back down to Cape Cod, these periodic areas of rain continue during the day today. They come and they go. Inland, do you notice there's a sharp cutoff in terms of the overcast conditions? We actually get some sun out today in western New England. That may actually fuel an isolated thunderstorm in Vermont during the afternoon to early evening hours. It would be isolated, but some downpours, some lightning are possible in those areas. Meantime, this evening, if you have Friday evening plans or after school activities, I do think there will still be some damp areas with pockets of rain from the Worcester to Boston stretch, maybe even into eastern Connecticut. Generally light, but it will come down. And how much rain? Well, we've already had an inch or two in portions of Cape Cod back down to Nantucket with some locally higher totals on the island. For most of us, it's a few hundredths to a tenth in eastern areas from Worcester to Boston, but there may be as much as a half an inch, which would actually be a welcome change from this dry period we've had since the end of August in the city of Boston. 1 inch or so is possible from areas of the South Shore back down to Cape Cod. And again, that's on top of what we already had yesterday on Cape Cod as well. Let's take a look at the predicted wind gusts. They do ramp up. That low to our south, high pressure, a little weak area to our north, that gradient, that wind in between them kind of getting squeezed today. So 30 to 40 mile per hour gusts at the coastline from time to time, some 40 to 45 mile per hour gusts for the outer Cape, and then down to the islands. Again, that wind coming in out of the northeast, essentially a nor'easter here. It will gradually ease, particularly through the interior, through the overnight tonight, but we'll still probably have some gusts to 30, 35 miles per hour during the day on Saturday. So it's churned up the seas. We've got a moderate to high rip current risk. The high risk is in red that extends from central New England all the way back down to the Jersey coastline off of Long Island as well. So it's a dangerous spot in the ocean today. The seas have been building 6 to 10 feet, even some higher waves offshore. So that's the reason for the minor coastal flooding as well as the seas get churned up with that persistent onshore flow. All right, highs today, 60s at the coast, 70s inland where we do have the sunshine out. So we're generally running about 5 to 10 degrees below average in eastern New England, 70 to 75 for southern Vermont, back into central Vermont, even the Champlain Valley today, where obviously where the sun's out, it is going to be warmer, a little bit cooler, but still right around 70 degrees for many of us, all the way from the crown of Maine back down to the coastline, a little cooler in Nova Scotia today. Overnight tonight, we're talking about lows overnight tonight in the 50s for most of us. That persistent onshore wind continues, so some pockets of showers from the coast of Maine back down into eastern Massachusetts will be the case as well. There will be some lingering rain for our Saturday, especially in eastern New England. We'll talk more about that in detail in our Insights video, take you out through the start of next week. And of course, app is a great tool to have. You can track the live radar, see where the wet weather is. It's free on the App Store and Google Play, and all of our weather info is on our website, onedegreeoutside.com. Have a great morning, everybody.